The long sleeve of sunflower motif top is made up of the body, front and back chest pieces, sleeves, and the collar. You can see that the main part is entirely made by joining motifs together. Then work a corner triangle in the center of each motif. Let's first learn how to crochet the body. Start by crocheting the motifs. Start with a foundation chain of 12 stitches. These are already chained here. Chain 4 as a beginning chain. Work 1 double crochet in the 9th chain from the hook. Chain 2. Skip 2 chains, work 1 double crochet. Then chain 4. Slip stitch into the first chain space. Don't pull this slip stitch too tight. The first row is completed. Now move on to the second row. Chain 5. Turn the piece. Work 1 double crochet in the 3rd chain, from the right side of the previous double crochet. Pick up 2 strands. Continue to work 2 double crochets. Chain 2 as a transition between the double crochets. Then chain 2 more. Work 1 double crochet in the 3rd chain space. Chain 2. Work a double crochet in the adjacent braid. The second row is completed. The 3rd and 4th rows are simple, just finish them. When you reach the beginning chain position, always pick up 2 strands from the 3rd braid. After completing the 4th row, continue with the 5th row. Chain 4 as the beginning chain. Turn the piece. Skip the first double crochet stitch without working into it. Work 1 double crochet in the 2nd stitch position. Chain 2. Work 1 stitch into the adjacent double crochet stitch. Work 1 treble crochet at the beginning chain position. Also pick up 2 strands. After completing the 5th row, start crocheting in rounds from the 6th round. Chain 1 as the beginning chain. Work 3 single crochets into the hole below. Place a marker in the first stitch position. Work 3 stitches at the edge for the next row. Then work 4 more stitches. Finish crocheting them. Finally, complete the single crochet in the starting position hole. Work 2 more stitches. Slip stitch to finish at the first stitch position. The 6th round is now completed. Crocheting the 7th round with single crochets and chains is simple. Just finish crocheting them. Move on to the 8th round. Chain 1 to begin. Work a single crochet. Mark the stitch. Then work 14 chain stitches. Crochet a slip stitch in the 3rd chain. Pick up 1 strand of yarn. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Skip 1 single crochet. And work a single crochet in the 2nd single crochet position. 1 group of stitches is now completed. Move on to the 2nd group. Work 14 chain stitches. Slip stitch in the 3rd chain position. Chain 3. Skip 1 single crochet. Work a single crochet. The 2nd group of stitches is now done. Continue crocheting all the way down to complete this round. After completing the last group with a slip stitch, directly work a double crochet on the first single crochet. This round is now completed. Move on to the final round. Turn over. Start with 4 chain stitches as beginning chain. Mark the last stitch. Next, crochet 8 double crochets into the chain circle. Together with the turning chain, that makes 9 stitches. Chain 3. Then continue with 9 double crochets. The first petal is now completed. Directly crochet the corresponding number of double crochets and chains into the chain circle. Finally, slip stitch into the top of the beginning chain. Cut the yarn. Weave in the yarn tails. The first motif is now finished. After completing the motif, you can measure its diameter. Make sure it doesn't differ too much from the size indicated on the chart. For the following motifs, you will need to work and join them simultaneously with the previous motif. Now move on to the second motif. As you crochet, connect it to the first motif. In total, join 2 petals together. The 9 double crochets of the second to last petal are already completed. And then make a chain stitch connection. Start with the first chain stitch. Release the loop. Take out the previous motif. Insert the hook into any chain space in the middle of a petal. Draw the loop through. Crochet 2 chain stitches. Finish crocheting this petal. After completing it, move on to the last petal. Start with 9 double crochets. Then 1 chain stitch. Release the loop. Connect the petal to the right of the first petal. Draw the loop through. Crochet 2 chain stitches. Finish crocheting the remaining part. Break the yarn. The two motifs are now connected. For the following motifs, connect them all using this method. Connect the 2 petals in the middle on the left side of the previous motif. When connecting, pay attention. You can stagger the colors of adjacent motifs. This will make the overall appearance more beautiful. Continue connecting down to the second to last motif. For the last motif, in addition to connecting it to the previous motif, you also need to connect it to the petal on the right side of the first motif, forming a circle. I'll demonstrate the joining method here. For the last motif, when crocheting the 5th petal, first connect it to the 5th petal on the right side of the first motif in this circle, counting from the left. After connecting, when crocheting the next petal, connect it to the adjacent petal. Continue crocheting down to the 3rd to last petal. When crocheting the 2nd to last petal, connect it to the 2 petals in the middle on the right side of the previous motif. Connect to the 5th petal counting from the left. When connecting, pay attention. All motifs should have the right side facing out. Don't twist the motifs. Connect the last petal. Finish with a slip stitch. This is the joining method for the motifs in the first round. After completing the connection of the first round motifs, proceed to connect the motifs in the second round. For the first motif in the second round, first, connect to the 2 petals in the middle on the top of any motif from the first round. For the 2nd to 7th motifs, you need to connect them to the 2 petals above from the previous round's motif, as well as the 2 petals on the left side of the current round's motif. This is the position marked by the stitch marker. Complete the first 7 petals first. Connect while crocheting the 8th petal. After finishing the connection of the petals below, continue crocheting 1 more petal downward. This petal does not need to be connected. When crocheting the last 2 petals, connect them to the previously marked petals. Then fasten off the yarn. The second motif is now connected. There is a petal interval in the middle of the 4 motifs on top and bottom, and they are not connected. Later, you can crochet the corner triangles to connect them. Following this method, continue crocheting until the second to last motif is completed. Pay attention to the orientation of the motifs below when connecting. Ensure the clearer texture side faces outward. Make sure not to connect them incorrectly. The last motif in the second round needs to connect 6 petals. Start connecting from the 5th petal. First, connect it to the 2 petals on the right side of the first motif in this round. Then, connect it to the 2 petals in the middle below. Finally, connect it to the 2 petals on the left side of the second to last motif. That is, the position marked by the stitch marker. Once they are all connected, you're done. The motifs in the second round are now fully connected. The body section has been successfully joined. Next, start connecting the front and back chest pieces. Begin with the front chest piece. In the first row of the front piece, connect 3 motifs. The first motif can be connected to any one of the motifs on the body section. After completing it, move on to connect the motifs in the second row. In the second row, connect 1 motif on each side. This motif only has 9 petals. We call this motif 2. The crocheting method for the earlier rounds of motif 2 is identical to motif 1. Continue crocheting down to the chain stitch position of group 8 in the second to last round. After completing, make 2 chain stitches. Skip 1 chain stitch and 1 single crochet. Work a single crochet into the chain space. Continue with 2 chain stitches. Skip 1 single crochet and 1 chain stitch. Work a single crochet into the single crochet stitch. After finishing, make 2 chain stitches. Work a single crochet into the hole. Make 2 chain stitches. Skip 1 single crochet. Pick up a stitch and work a single crochet. You can see that there is 1 single crochet remaining on the left side. Work the last group of chain stitches here. Work a double crochet into the stitch marker position. The second to last round is completed. Next, work the last row. Adjust the chain stitch position slightly. Start with 3 chain stitches. Release the loop. Insert the hook into the single crochet stitch on the right side. Draw the loop through. Work 1 more chain stitch. The beginning chain is completed. Corresponding to 1 double crochet. Work 8 double crochets into the chain space. 3 chains. 9 double crochets. Finish crocheting the first petal. After completing the first petal, continue with the second and third petals. Connect to the first motif of the first row on the front piece. After connecting the 2 petals, continue crocheting the remaining petals downward. Once all the motifs are completed, work a slip stitch on the left single crochet. Pull tight. Break the yarn. Motif 2 is now finished. Crochet the motif 2 on the other side using the same method. When working the third to last and second to last petals, connect it to the motif below. This completes the front chest piece. The connection method for the back chest piece is identical to the front chest piece. Pay attention when connecting the first motif of the first row. It should connect one motif apart from the last motif of the first row on the front chest piece. When connecting the first motif of the second row, also connect it to the motifs on the front piece. After completion, connect the motifs in the middle. This is motif 3. Its crochet technique is slightly different from motif 2. I'll demonstrate this method for you. For the second to last round of motif 3, work 9 groups of chain stitches first. After completing that, crochet 3 chains. Skip a single crochet. Work a single crochet in the second stitch position. Continue with 3 more chains. Skip 1 stitch and work a single crochet. After finishing, complete the last group of chain stitches. The second to last round is now completed. Move on to work the petals of the last row. While crocheting, connect it to the motif. This is what motif 2 looks like after it's completed. Next, connect the last motif of the second row. First, this motif needs to be connected to the petals underneath, then connected to the 2 petals in the middle of this row, and finally connected to the 2 petals on the edge of the front piece. Once all connections are done, you're good to go. The back chest piece is now completed, and it has also been connected to the front piece. After completing the body and both the front and back chest pieces, start by crocheting the corner triangles, then move on to the collar and sleeves. I'll first explain how to crochet the corners between the 4 motifs. Chain 5 to start. Pick up 1 strand of yarn from the first chain and slip stitch into it. The slip stitch doesn't need to be tightened. Then chain 9. Take out your motif. Insert into any chain space position between 2 connected petals. Draw the loop through. Crochet 10 chain stitches downward. After completing the chain stitches, slip stitch into the starting magic ring. Then crochet 5 chain stitches. Release the loop. Insert the hook into the middle of the adjacent petal. Draw the loop through. Crochet 6 chain stitches. Slip stitch. Now you're at the connecting position between 2 petals. Continue with a long chain stitch for the connection. At the unconnected petal positions, use a short chain stitch to connect. Repeat this process until all of them are connected. Finally, slip stitch in the ring and fasten off the yarn. One corner triangle is now completed, and you can see that the corner triangles between the 4 motifs consist of 4 groups of short chain stitches, and 4 groups of long chain stitches. The number of stitches for the neckline corners is slightly different from the corners in the middle position. I'll first explain the back neckline. For the back neckline, crochet 1 corner on each side of the central motif. This corner consists of 3 groups of chain stitches, with short chains on both sides, and a group of long chains in the middle section. First, insert the hook into one of the petals. Then complete the short chain stitches. Next, move to the connecting position between 2 petals. Crochet the long chain stitches. After that, work another group of short chain stitches. The 2 corners for the back neckline are now completed. The corners at the hem are also crocheted using a similar method, with 2 groups of short chains, and 1 group of long chains. For the front neckline, crochet 1 corner on each side of the central motif. The crochet technique is similar for all these parts. When connecting the petals above, work the short chain stitches, and crochet the long chain stitches between the 2 petals. Pay attention to the final central petal position, where you need to crochet a group of long chains, maintaining symmetry on both sides. Connect these areas together, and the corners for the front piece will be completed. Only the central petal corresponds to the long chain stitch, while the rest of the petals are crocheted using the same chain stitch method as the previous corners. Next, we'll crochet the collar, and I'll start by casting on at the junction between the front and back pieces. Make a loose knot with the yarn tail. Insert the hook into the chain space in the middle of the petal. Either of the 2 chain spaces on the left or right will work. Chain 1 is the beginning chain. Work a single crochet in the same position. Then chain 4. In the middle position of the left petal. Work a single crochet. Pick up the stitch and crochet. Continue with 4 chain stitches. Now we've reached motif 2. Insert the hook into the chain space next to this single crochet, and work a single crochet. Chain 4. Then work a single crochet in the middle single crochet here. Right here. Chain 4. Work a single crochet in the chain space at the edge of the petal. Chain 4. Work a single crochet in the middle position of the petal. We worked 9 double crochets for each petal, so it's the 5th stitch position. Work a single crochet in the chain space. Chain 4. Now we're at the corner position. Work a double crochet in the starting chain space. Chain 4. On the left side here is a group of long chain stitch. Work a single crochet at about the middle position. Unless otherwise specified, chain 4 between each 2 single crochets. Now we're at the petal in the middle. Work a double crochet between the 2 petals. The half of the front piece is now completed. The other half should be symmetrical to this side. Complete them accordingly. Now we're at the back piece position. Continue with 4 chains. Work a single crochet in the middle of the petal. After completing the first petal, chain 2. Work a single crochet in the middle position of the next petal. Pay attention, work a single crochet in the middle of this corner triangle. No double crochets are needed here. Now we're at the position of motif 3. After working the single crochets on the petals, chain 5. Work a double crochet on the single crochet at the bottom middle. The half of the back piece is now completed. Finish crocheting the remaining part. Finally, on the first single crochet stitch, finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. The first round of the collar is now completed. Pay attention while crocheting. In the middle of these 2 petals on the back piece, chain 2 as a transition. In the middle, work a double crochet and 1 single crochet on each side. Chain 5 as a transition between the single crochets and double crochet. Now let's move on to the second round. This round consists of single crochets and chains. Start with 1 chain as the beginning chain. Work a single crochet in the same position. Crochet 2 single crochets in each of the 3 adjacent holes. For this round, chain 1 between every 2 single crochets for the transition. Now, on the single crochet in the middle of the motif, pick up the stitch and work a single crochet. Continue by working 2 single crochets in each chain space. For this entire round, you will be crocheting single crochets into the holes. When you encounter the stitches worked in the corner triangles, or between 2 petals, as well as at the center of the motif, pick up the stitch and work 1 single crochet. Work a single crochet in each of the 2 chain spaces on the back piece. Following this method, refer to the pattern chart to complete this round. Join with a slip stitch at the marked stitch position. Pull tight. Now crochet the final round. Start with 1 chain as the beginning chain. In the adjacent hole, which is between 2 single crochets, work 1 single crochet, make a marker. This round is also 1 single crochet and 1 chain, worked in rounds. Pay attention, the single crochets are all worked into the chain spaces between 2 single crochets from the previous round. Finally, finish with a slip stitch. Break the yarn. Weave in the ends. This is the crocheting method for the collar. Next, attach the sleeves. First, connect the motifs of the first round. In the first round, connect a total of 4 motifs. The first motif connects to 3 petals, starting by attaching to the petal marked below. Then connect to the 2 petals marked on the edges of the first row of the chest piece. After connecting the first petal, don't forget to skip 1 petal, and then connect the remaining 2 petals. This is what it looks like after finishing the first motif. Make a marker on top. The second and third motifs are connected in the same way as before. Each connects to 4 petals. Connect them all. After finishing the 2 motifs in the middle, move on to connect the last motif. The last motif connects to 7 petals in total, 2 on the top, 2 on the sides, 1 under the arm. Finally, connect to the 2 petals on the right side of the petal that was connected to the first motif. That's 7 connections in total. This way, the motifs of the first round of the sleeve are connected. Starting from the second round, there are only 3 motifs per round for the sleeve. The method of connecting the 2 motifs on the top is the same as before, so connect them first. The motif at the bottom of the second round connects to 8 petals in total. In addition to connecting with the corresponding petals above, it also needs to connect with the petals on the sides. When connecting this motif, there should be no skipped petals in the middle. Connect all 8 remaining petals together. The third motif has been joined together, and the joining method for the motifs in the next 2 rounds is relatively simple. Just join in rounds normally. Complete their connections. After finishing the joining of the sleeve motifs, crochet the corner triangles. The crocheting method for the corner triangles is the same. I will explain the special part between the first and second round of sleeve motifs. That is, the motif below the second round. There is no space between this petal on the motif below. We need to crochet a long chain stitch between 2 petals for the connection. It's right here. Take a look at this. This is what it looks like when completed. There are also 2 special parts under the arm. At the position of the motifs on the edge of the first round, 4 points need to be connected. Besides these 3 already connected motif positions, you also need to connect between the 2 petals under the arm. Complete all connections with short crochet stitches. The hole on the side also connects 4 points. 3 adjacent motifs. and the middle position between two petals on the left side. Crochet with short chain stitches to connect. This is the result after completing the 2 corner triangles under the arm. Once everything is done, you can iron it from the wrong side. This will make the piece more flat. This is the making method for the long sleeve style blouse.